Hi, I'm Rob Stewart. We're taking a look at food in your future on this edition of America's Heartland. Young people making a difference in crop production and students discovering how agriculture touches their lives, even if they've never been to a farm. We'll head for California and a new program teaming up students with lessons to encourage careers in agroscience. Students at this school in New Jersey make a direct connection to agriculture from the minute they step on the school bus. We'll take you to Minnesota for a lecture about sustainability and the environment. It's being taught by Sewer Man. And our Sharon Profis has a lesson in good eating, this time with cheese. It's all coming up on America's Heartland.
America's Heartland is made possible by CropLife America, representing the companies whose modern farming innovations help America's farmers provide nutritious food for communities around the globe. The Fund for Agriculture Education, a fund created by KVIE to support America's Heartland programming. Contributors include the following.
You can see it in the eyes of every woman and man in America's heartland, living close to the land. There's a love for the country and a pride in the brand. In America's heartland, living close to the land.
We're going to pass along some easy education about agriculture on America's Heartland this time. But don't worry, there won't be a test and you won't be required to take notes. We're going to introduce you to some young people whose futures will impact you and your family. They've shown an interest in agriculture. Their work in all aspects of food science and production could be critical to feeding the world in years to come. If I say agriculture, it may only conjure up an image of farmers, ranchers, or growers raising crops or livestock in a rural setting. But agriculture today is a vastly expanding industry that not only includes lab research on everything from seed stocks to pest prevention, it touches on every conceivable aspect of food science. That, of course, can play a major role in improving our diets and provide greater yields to an expanding population. But what about the people who will staff those positions? And what do young people need to know about food safety, environmental concerns, sustainability, and more? Well, let's make some stops across the country for programs that help young people connect with agriculture, both as producers and consumers. Let's start in Northern California.
This is definitely not your everyday classroom. This is the Agriculture Academy at Elk Grove's Florin High School in Northern California. The students here are taking part in something called linked learning, coursework that's career-oriented. And for these students, it's all about agriculture. These classes and classrooms are project-based, real-world test kitchens where students get an agricultural advantage at an early age. Andre Whitaker is a senior here and very active in the FFA, a national organization working to support students who see agriculture in their future. Andre wants to be a large animal veterinarian. Today, he's in charge of the chickens and rabbits, tending to their needs and care.
Are your dreams coming true already?
They are. I've always loved horses, so thanks to the ag program, I already figured that I can't work with large animals until I work with small animals because I can't just go from nothing to large. So I knew I had to have prior experience. And with ag offering such things as our poultry and our rabbits, I've done both. Having the experience with such small animals has helped me set up a foundation for me to work with large animals. And I knew that if I could work with small animals, I definitely could move on and learn and take my experience and take it with me for my job.
California has an extensive linked learning program offering a number of potential career choices. There are similar programs in other states, some of which also focus on agriculture. Students and teachers emphasize, however, that ag education is tough work. It offers high school students a rigorous academic curriculum combined with career-focused learning. It means a lot of work for these teens with dreams.
You know, it's so interesting to hear the students here finding their dreams in high school, and they're attributing it to ag.
That's one of the really special things that I think a program like an academy and like the FFA can do for a student for their future. Not only do they get the chance to sample all those future potential goals by being able to sample the world of work at the same time that they're finishing and engaging in their high school studies, but they also get out to see the world, and they do that through the world of agriculture.
Wow.
Those ag opportunities literally changed An Nguyen's life. An moved to America in 2010 from Vietnam. She didn't speak English and knew nothing about agriculture. That's all changed.
And it's crazy because I remember there were days where I can only remember 3 words or that I understood, and it was hard. It was hard. But when I started high school, that's when I stepped into agriculture. And when I stepped in, my advisor, she took me right in. And it doesn't matter what my skill level was. It doesn't matter how much I can do or my ability. So that was my first time seeing hands-on activities like dissecting the pigs and doing all these activities where I can actually experience that effort and all the ways to do the different things that I need to know how to do. So after that, I just learned it so fast. I took another step by just taking opportunities such as competitions, and I found about FFA. So I started to excel from there and found my passion through it.
An devoted herself to her passion projects, like this one called Marimo, growing self-sustaining algae that cleans water. She even won a national award for her work.
I was blown away.
And agriculture is also blowing away students at nearby Elk Grove High School. The 2 programs serve more than 150 teens. The academy here takes more of a farm life approach. This is Tyler Yates and his prize-winning pig, Sally. Agriculture is already important to Tyler's life and career choices.
I want to become an agriculture teacher.
Really?
Yes. I know you don't usually hear that from high schoolers. Oh, you want to become a teacher? Yeah.
I love that.
It's just, I want to help them. Like how my teachers helped me learn all this stuff. I want to help other kids learn it. And it just helps me, and I've always loved animals. I've always been around them. And so just doing this just is kind of doing what I love.
And what I love about that is that you found something that makes you happy.
Yeah.
So you're going to be an ag teacher yourself.
Yes.
You will be teaching students just like yourself down the road. What is it you want them to take away from knowing about agriculture?
That farming isn't just growing plants or raising animals. It's about a whole life career.
I've heard you mention several times the word dream, and you go right back to this program. This program has clearly impacted your life.
It has. Even my mom is involved. My mom knows my ag teachers. She knows how much it means to me and how much I love this program. I even dropped the AP class for this program. I was originally enrolled in the AP government, but it conflicted with my ag class. So I chose my ag class over AP government because it meant so much to me, and this is what I'm here for.
Agriculture is about literally planting seeds and things growing.
Definitely.
What has it planted in you?
Planted confidence. I've been searching for this voice for years. I didn't even know what my passion was. And just going to conventions, going to events, or just doing these small projects about agriculture, it plants a seed in me, basically knowing where I'm going to go and how I'm going to grow up to be, and I know exactly where I want to go.
The National FFA organization plays a major role in educating young people about agriculture in America. The National FFA began as the Future Farmers of America way back in 1928. FFA has members in all 50 states, and lest you think it's only about rural life, the National FFA has chapters in 18 of the 20 largest U.S. cities, including New York, Chicago, and Philadelphia.
Agriculture plays a role in not only the production of food, but in the production of energy as well. We've done stories in the past about ethanol and biofuels. University research is underway on cost-effective ways to produce fuel from things like switchgrass, even algae. And students in one school district in New Jersey are coming to understand that agriculture can even affect their getting to school on time. Our Yolanda Vazquez climbs on board a school bus for that lesson.
Riding to school in Medford, New Jersey, these elementary students are beginning their day with a real-life demonstration on energy alternatives. And if you ask them, they'll tell you why their big yellow school buses are different.
Biodiesel! Biodiesel!
In the late 90s, the Medford Township School District decided to begin using biofuels in their buses. A B20 blend with 20% of the fuel mix created with biodiesel made from soybean oil.
This is a farming community. This community, Medford Township, was based on an agricultural industry.
Joe Billick is the Director of Operations and Technology for the Medford School District. He says with more than 400,000 school buses in the U.S., biodiesel provides an opportunity to be more energy efficient and support agriculture.
We've consumed about 750,000 gallons of biodiesel. We've reduced diesel emissions by some 120,000 pounds over the last 12 years. Our fleet expenses have been reduced by some $120,000 over the last 12 years. So you see that there's various layers of benefits to using biodiesel and alternative fuels.
But learning about agriculture's role in creating energy alternatives doesn't end with riding the bus. Energy and the environment are often the topics of conversation in David Conlian's fifth grade class.
What makes it renewable? Do you remember, Jess?
Yeah, the fossil fuels are used from fossils, which are harder to get, but the biodiesel is made from plants and such stuff.
How many of you would say you know something about biodiesel? The buses are healthier because we're putting healthier fuel into them. The biodiesel is better for them, and that allows the engines to run smoother, to be less strained, to run longer, to last longer.
I learned that they have to crush the soybeans to get all the oil out, and then they turn the oil into this orange stuff that is biodiesel.
I want to introduce Mr. Steve McCracken.
As part of the studies, outside speakers visit the classrooms.
The importance of biodiesel is we're starting to use products, and we're able to use products that are created here in America from our farms. We're able to use and create more product and more value from products that are grown right here in the United States.
The biofuel blend creates another distinction as the buses roll down the road.
It smells really good and it smells like French fries.
French fries!
State and federal tax breaks along with incentive programs have encouraged the use of biofuels in school districts nationwide, a focus on energy from plants and not petroleum.
When I ride on the bus knowing that it's running on biodiesel fuel, it feels good because it's making the earth better for everybody.
Thank you, farmers!
Iowa, Illinois, Minnesota, and Indiana are some of the top soybean-producing states in the nation. In addition to biodiesel, soybeans are used to make everything from soy milk to furniture polish, even crayons. In fact, 1 acre of soybeans can produce more than 80,000 colorful crayons.
All right, since we have a focus on education this time around, let's give you a lesson in good eating with some practical knowledge from our Sharon Profis. Sharon's in the kitchen for our Farm to Fork segment, and she's serving up a tasty recipe with cheese.
From fancy cheeses to cream cheese, there are so many ways to love this dairy product. Normally, it's something you buy at the store, not something you make, but today I'll show you how to create your own cheese in minutes, plus my favorite, cheddar and chive biscuits. There are many types of cheeses, but the basic process for creating any cheese is the same. You have milk or cream and some kind of acid to help curdle the milk. Once those two things are combined, you get curds and whey. Then you grab the curds and you're ready to make your cheese. We're making a simple cheese that you can spread on bread or enjoy with dessert or even put in your lasagna. So let's head to the stove and get started. The first thing we need to do is heat up our milk. So I've got an enamel coated pot here over a medium heat. And in goes 2 cups of whole milk. Plus, for added creaminess, 1 cup of heavy cream. I have a candy thermometer in here to help me determine when it's time to put in the vinegar, but you'll know it's ready if you don't have one when the milk is simmering. So in my case, I'll wait for it to hit 190 degrees before adding the vinegar. Over here, I have a bowl with a sieve on top. You can also use a colander, plus a few layers of cheesecloth. This is where we'll put the curds when they're ready to strain. Our milk just started simmering. My thermometer hit 190 degrees. So now I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of salt. Turn off the heat, add our vinegar, and the milk will start to curdle. After about 3 minutes, you're ready to transfer the curds to the cheesecloth. So I'm using a mesh strainer. You can also use a slotted spoon. And then just grab your cheese and put it right on top of your cheesecloth. The longer the curd strains, the thicker the cheese will end up being, but you can already see that it has the texture of ricotta cheese or kind of like a cottage cheese. I'm gonna let this strain for about 10 to 15 minutes because I want a really silky, thick, creamy cheese, perfect for spreading on bread or for putting in lasagna. The cheese has strained for about 10 minutes and you can see how much whey came out of here. It's strained out a lot. So now the cheese is basically ready for serving. It's thick, it's creamy, and the way I love it most is simple. On a piece of toasted bread with a little drizzle of honey. So now that our cheese is ready, and as you saw, it was really easy, we're ready to make our next dish, cheddar and chive biscuits. These cheddar biscuits come together really quickly. I already have 2 cups of flour and 1 tablespoon of baking powder, along with 1.5 teaspoons of salt in my stand mixer. And to that we'll add 1.5 sticks of very cold butter. What we're looking for here is for the mixture to reach a sort of crumbly texture. Then we'll be ready to add the rest of our ingredients. And to that mixture, we'll add 1/2 cup of buttermilk and 1 egg scrambled right into the buttermilk. When that mixture just comes together, you're ready to add the main ingredient, cheese. We're using cheddar cheese, and I have 2 types here. I have a yellow cheddar and an aged white cheddar, just to add a little bit more dimension to these biscuits. I also have some chives that I'll chop here. In goes 1 cup of our yellow and aged white cheddar mix. We'll also add our chopped chive, a little bit of garlic powder. We'll give that a quick mix, wait until it just comes together, and then we're ready to roll it out and stick it in the oven. I've lightly floured my cutting board, and now I'll just dump out our biscuit mixture. And we'll knead it a few times. And I can already smell the chives and the cheese and the garlic. And now we'll roll it out into a small rectangle. Now in order to save time and extra kneading, I just cut the biscuit dough with my knife like this. Just like that. These are going to be light, flaky, cheesy. Perfect. Before they go into the oven, I want to hit them with a little more cheese right on top. These will go into the oven at 425 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until they puff up a little bit and they're golden brown. The biscuits are a perfect golden brown and the entire kitchen smells amazing. Here we have 2 cheesy recipes that come together really quickly, plus they're really easy to make. And as a bonus, this homemade cheese and these biscuits might go together really well.
Understanding the importance of agriculture has been the life work of the man we'll meet in our next story. He helps young people realize that things like sustainability and environmental concerns are equally important to those who live in the city and those who live on the farm. Our Jason Shoultz says how he gets that message across makes his presentation quite unique.
A visitor is on his way to this second-floor corner classroom at Northfield Middle School in Northfield, Minnesota.
The one, the only, the despicable, gross, stinky, slippery, surprising Sewer Man.
Oh, thank you. That was great.
With his lab coat, boots, and hard hat donned, Dave Legvold becomes Sewer Man.
And we have the gutter, and we have the grate.
And for the next 45 minutes,
open wide, and it will just pour this motor oil right down the storm sewer, okay? Are you okay?
Yeah.
You sure you want to do this?
No.
I don't blame you either.
it's an environmental lesson about how our daily routine impacts water quality. If it gets dumped down the drain...
Oh, man, my little brother, he dropped the big one and didn't flush. Oh.
At some point, it ends up in a creek, river, or stream somewhere else. And the students here eat this lesson up.
Or maybe even drinking it.
Well, almost eat it up.
Sometimes we remember the strangest things because the presentation itself was strange.
As comfortable as this retired teacher is in front of the classroom, Dave Legvold is just at home behind the wheel of a tractor on his Minnesota farm.
Farming, like teaching, is cyclical in nature. There is a renewal that happens every year, every spring. It's like the juices rise and you get ready to do planting. In the fall, a new school year is approaching and the juices rise and you get excited.
He's passionate about agriculture and its importance to Minnesota. He's also passionate about the environment, knowing that the decisions farmers make have an impact on the land for generations to come.
So farming and city life and what we do on the land that impacts the water for our city colleagues, it all ties together.
So what are we looking at here? This is a pretty big machine.
This is the Soil Warrior.
Dave wanted to show me the latest tool he's using to reduce soil erosion. It's a large contraption that combines tilling, planting, and fertilizing in one.
The erosion from a field that has been treated with this is much less than a field that has had significant amounts of tillage. I've received probably 3 or 4 calls in the last couple of weeks about how is your Soil Warrior working? Do you find that it is beneficial? What about fuel savings? And all of the really good questions that farmers and people just associated with water quality want to know.
Talking with other farmers about conservation is important to Dave. He also works with student scientists at St. Olaf College in Northfield, studying runoff from farm fields.
I've come to realize that if we do things that enhance water and soil quality, it's more profitable and it's better for the environment.
Dave says confronting environmental challenges like soil erosion and chemical runoff is critical to the long-term success of American agriculture.
I don't think we need to fear that our world will grow hungry as long as we have the American farmer on board. But that also carries with it the awesome responsibility of increasing production to tremendous levels and doing so in a sustainable way.
Hey, we just wanted to say thanks to those of you who stay in touch with us on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for your good words about the show. We're so glad that you enjoy the stories and the connections to agriculture that we make. And don't forget that our America's Heartland website has video from all of our shows and so much more as well. Find us there at americasheartland.org. That's going to do it for us this time. Thanks for traveling the country with us. We'll see you next time on America's Heartland.
You can purchase a DVD or Blu-ray copy of this program. Here's the cost. To order, just visit us online or call 888-814-3923.
You can see it in the eyes of every
Biodiesel
man in America's heartland, living close to the land. There's a love for the country and a pride in the brand in America's heartland, living close to the land.
America's Heartland is made possible by Crop Life America, representing the companies whose modern farming innovations help America's farmers provide nutritious food for communities around the globe. The Fund for Agriculture Education, a fund created by KVIE to support America's Heartland programming. Contributors include the following: